Something that I have observed with the traders that tend to do very, very well and build consistent profitability in their results is that they have a very consistent routine for their trading. And in order for them to have consistent profitability, they have to be consistent in the action steps they take as a trader. So what I wanted to do in this video is share with you how you can build a winning trading routine and how you can build discipline in order to stick to that, so you can be very consistent in the way you trade, and as a result, you can get consistent profitability. So let's get into it. Now, we're going to talk about developing a winning trading routine in two components, or two ways. The first way is what you do before you trade, and the second way is what you do after you trade. And both are very, very important. And let me explain why. If you go into a trading day in the wrong emotional state, or you're in a state of, let's draw this out. If you're in a state of greed or in a state of pride, in a self-exaggerating state, or you're in a state of shame or fear, or in a self-minimized state, this is greed, this is fear, then what's going to happen if you're in a state of greed? You've got your trading plan and your trading processes here. But if you're in this state of greed, you're going to exaggerate yourself, you're going to minimize risk in the market, and you're going to force your own ideas onto the trading plan, or onto the market rather. You're not going to listen to your trading plan. So in a state of greed, we tend to project our ideas and our will onto the market. And those are the scenarios where you tend to get humbled. The market isn't ready for the setup you're trying to force onto it. Whereas if you're in this state of fear down here, and the market presents an opportunity to you that aligns with your trading plan, but you're in this state of fear, you have this sort of block that stops you from taking the trade. So both greed and fear are going to stop you from sticking to your trading plan. You're going to trade when the market's not ready for you, and you're also not going to trade when the market is ready for you. So the reason I'm sharing this is because when we talk about creating a winning trading routine before you trade, we have to do everything to manage greed and fear, and in a sense, get yourself back to the state of balance and equilibrium so that you can stick to your trading plan. You can build consistent profitability. So too, after you trade, if you get puffed up into the state of greed because you took a win, or pride, whatever you want to call it, or in this state of fear because you took a loss, then these emotions and these charges are going to be taken into your day-to-day life. They're going to impact how you feel, your sleep, your relationships, any other job or business you're doing, your day-to-day life. So it's important after you trade that you manage greed and you manage fear so that you can get back to more of a balanced state of mind, and you can get going with whatever it is you're going to do after you trade. So before you trade, there are a few things that are very important to implement. And I guess this is going to be dependent on the individual and what processes they love to do, but there are a few non-negotiables that I'm going to suggest. The first non-negotiable is that you review your trading plan and your trading processes. Every trader should have an edge that they're certain in put into a mechanical trading plan. Before you trade, you want to remind yourself of what this looks like. You want to go through your trading plan, through your trading checklist, and have a look. What particular setup am I looking for? You're priming your psychology to look for that particular setup and those particular components. Now, if you don't already have a trading plan or a trading checklist, you can download my 6-figure trading plan template in the description, which is completely free, and organize your edge into that so that you have a mechanical system that you can replicate. Okay? So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to read and review your trading plan and just prime your psychology to look for those components. Then you want to create some sort of a plan for that trading session or that trading day. And what you can do is you can go into your trading view or whatever you do to chart, and you can have a look at what are the scenarios that are most likely going to play out today. And you can create a separate watch list, and you can set alerts, and you can plan out the particular setups for that day. You have your trading plan there, you have the market there, you've created your own separate watch list, you've set alerts on that, and you're forecasting on the chart what you're looking for in alignment with your trading plan and how you're going to execute if the plan or if the market aligns with your forecasts. And what you're doing is you're priming yourself and you're preparing your psychology for options and for to get it into a state to execute. And you can even do visualization in this state, and you can visualize how it would look if the market got into your entry point, and then it took you out for a loss or it took you out for a win, because we have no control over that outcome. So you're visualizing both outcomes, but what's most important is you're sticking to your trading plan on that individual trade. Okay, so before you trade, you want to review your trading plan. You want to create some sort of a daily plan, and then number 3, you want to use the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool, which is a free tool I have in the link in the description. And what that tool helps you do, now the market has hit your alerts, it's aligned based on your trading plan, you're about to take a trade. That Bulletproof Your Mindset tool, what it's going to do is it's going to help you bring to surface all your expectations of what you think the outcome of that individual trade is going to be. Now, there are so many factors influencing price in the financial markets, and there are so many different players wanting different things from the market. Really, what you're doing, if you're saying that I know where price is going to go and I know the market's going to give me this amount of percentage or this amount of dollar, or it's going to give me this outcome, and you're expecting the market to give you something, what you're doing is you're coming from a state of self-exaggeration, from pride, and you're unrealistically expecting something from the market that nobody has any control over. Now, you know that if you execute your trading plan over a large sample space, you're going to end up profitable at the end of that sample space. But on that individual trade, nobody has any idea of what's going to happen next. So what you need to do before you trade is bring to surface all your outcome-based expectations. And then you need to ground these outcome-based expectations by reminding yourself that you and nobody has any control over the individual outcome of the market. Nobody has any control over that. And you're grounding your expectations by reminding yourself of how little control any individual player has over the market. And then you want to ask yourself, does this trade align with my trading plan or not? If it does, you take the trade. That process there with the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool is going to help you remove any expectations or anchors you're setting before the trade to ensure that you're only trading trades that are in alignment with your trading plan. And that if that individual trade is a loss based on probabilities, you're not emotionally deterred. Your self-worth isn't tied up in the outcome of the trade because you weren't expecting just a positive outcome. You're prepared for both outcomes because both outcomes are possible on that trade. So that Bulletproof Your Mindset tool is a powerful tool, a shift in your perspective, a shift in your mindset before you trade in order to not promote greed, because really what greed is an expectation from the market. It's you imposing your will onto the market. So when you minimize these, guess what? You simultaneously minimize fear, because fear is the fear of losing out on these expectations or the fear of losing out on that greed. So the Bulletproof Your Mindset tool, identifying and grounding your expectations and aligning yourself with your trading plan, is a powerful tool to manage your psychology, to keep you balanced and to keep you process-based. That's how you build consistent profitability. So the best traders, what I've observed them doing is they have a mechanical trading plan with an edge. They plan and prepare for opportunities that day. Then they manage any expectations of what they think the market's going to do. They ground those. They're present with the market. If the market presents an opportunity, they execute. Okay? That's a winning trading routine before you trade. Now, you can also add on top of that, like I mentioned, visualization exercises, like I covered in one of my previous videos. You can add in a meditation practice, a 15-minute meditation, which is also going to help manage fear and greed, right? You can do anything really that helps you moderate your mentality, your heart rate, all those types of things. Anything like too much caffeine or hot cold exposure just before you trade can impact your heart rate. It can impact your perception and skew your perception of risk. So those aren't ideal. You want to do things that help you moderate your heart rate and help you balance your psychology. Deep breathing or box breathing, if it's done in a balanced state, 1-to-1 ratio, can help with moderating your heart rate and keeping your perception of risk very balanced. Okay, so you can add these components on top if they're helpful for you, or you've used them in the past and they've been helpful. Anything to help you get to your processes, to see risk clearly, to manage your expectations and stick to your trading plan. Okay, now after you trade and you take a win or you take a loss, it's also important to have a process that allows you to balance yourself. Now, in the 12-week program, I teach a process that whenever you take a win or you get really elated, right, or take a loss and get really depressed, certain questions you ask yourself to get yourself back to a state of equilibrium. because you don't want that trading day influencing your day-to-day life. You also don't want that trading day being brought into your next trading day. And if you had a really good week or a really good previous day, you don't want that exaggerating your abilities, minimizing risks in the market, because you're not going to stick to your trading plan. You're going to be more likely to impose your own expectations onto the market. And if you had a really poor trading day in your perception, the last few trading days or the last trading day, you don't want that beating you into a state of fear and trading out of a fear-based mindset, because the market may present an opportunity that day and you may be too scared to act. So after your trading day, a 10 or 15-minute meditation can be a very good way to get yourself back to a state of being a little bit more present, a little bit more focused on your breath, that type of stuff, as opposed to being caught up and replaying these scenarios in your head and beating yourself up. It's also important to do some level of self-equilibration, I like to call it, and reminding yourself that if you had a really, really good trading day, just to humble yourself a little bit. Remind yourself of some of your faults or your shortcomings, or of how unrealistic it is to expect that you can go in there and predict what's going to happen in the market. And if you had a really poor trading day, it's important to get support and maybe chat it through with a trading buddy and have a good laugh over it, and remind yourself of what you've done well to bring yourself back to that state of balance and self-equilibration. And really what you're doing after a trading day is you're trying to get yourself back to this state of being balanced and process-based, so that the next trading day you can come in and go back to your trading plan, okay? So meditation is a great tool for that. And I'll leave some resources below to help with that. And reviewing your trading plan and doing any self-review necessary and extracting the lessons from that trading day is another great way to self-equilibrate. But really, you're trying to humble yourself if you're in a state of pride, and you're trying to bring yourself back up if you're in a state of fear or in a state of shame or beating yourself up, so that you can get back to your trading plan and your trading processes the next trading day. Okay? If you found this useful, share it with your trading communities, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I've left some resources in the description which are going to be very, very useful in helping you construct your trading routine. And on top of that, it's important to have a balanced life as well. So after you trade for the day, it's important to go off and do other things, spend time with your loved ones, watch a movie or TV show that you really love, go and focus on another project, go outside, do some exercise. And having a more holistic approach to your life and more balanced life is only going to help with your trading, okay? So don't neglect other areas of life that are important to you. But if you have any questions, leave them in the description. Thank you for watching to the end, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.